מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו, אמותינו. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו, אמותינו. לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו, אמותינו. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו, אמותינו. Thankful for our lives, thankful for our souls, thankful for the miracles, wondrous to behold. Thankful for the morning, thankful for the afternoon, thankful for the evening, nighttime blessed by you. Leolam va'ed, forever and ever. Leolam va'ed, forever and ever. Leolam va'ed, Leolam va'ed, forever, Leolam va'ed, forever, Leolam va'ed, forever, Leolam.
And Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Hey, we're starting already. It's been a little punchy over here for the last 20 minutes or so. So glad to have everyone with us as we are beginning our service for the very last Shabbat of 5780. That's right, everyone. This is it. If you didn't like the year 5780, we're about to get rid of it. So 5781, it's got to be better. Right?
Duh.
Yeah, it's got to be better. There's nowhere to go but up. Shabbat Shalom to everyone who is Shabbat Shaloming on in here. Nice to see you, everyone. You may notice that that along with these wonderful musicians, with Mark and Hannah, that there is another person, and she is not quite a rabbi yet, but almost, and that is Molly Cherniak, who's underneath me. Hi down there. Hello, Molly. Yeah, she's down there. Hello, there she is. And Molly is becoming a bat mitzvah in October, and she's going to get a little bit of practice tonight, helping us light the candles and do some of the blessings that she has already learned. So that is really, really exciting. We are so glad that you're all with us on this lovely Erev Shabbat. The weather seems like it's holding for the moment. And I want to mention, by the way, this is our 27th remote Shabbat. This is Shabbat number 27 of the pandemic, which means 27 weeks of us just talking into a computer screen and singing into a computer screen. But we know that you're there. We know that you're with us. We've been so excited for the high holidays that it's nice to dial back and do a little bit of Shabbat one more time before we get to Slichot tomorrow night. So I'm going to stop talking, and I think we should start singing. So we're going to turn it over to Mark and Hannah as we start with singing Hine Ma Tovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is that we can dwell together.
Hine Ma Tovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. 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 Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tovu Manayim 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 Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
How good it is that we can dwell together, and so many of us are dwelling already here. Hey, hello to Maxine. Jeremy Reicha says Rossios rule. I feel great about that, Jeremy. They do rule, that is for sure. Hey, Kathy and David, my parents-in-law. Hope you guys are doing well. Nice to see you. Oh, Beth says that we don't count the Omer, we count the weeks of the pandemic. It is really true. We are counting them down, that's for sure. Meredith, nice to see you. Meredith and Nancy, Shabbat Shalom. We got a lot of props for you, Molly. A lot of people who are supporting you. And very exciting stuff here. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. So we are going to keep on singing here. Esa Einai al Heharim. Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. We lift our eyes to the mountains and we ask, where does our help come from? And yes, it comes from God, and it also comes from each other, helping each other climb up that mountain. And we need a lot of help these days. So I'm going to turn over to you guys for Esa Einai.
Esa Einai El Hecharim. Esa Einai El Hecharim. Me'ayin Yavo Yavo Ezri. Me'ayin Yavo Yavo Ezri. Me'ayin Yavo Yavo Ezri. Me'ayin Yavo Yavo Ezri. Where will my help come from? Where will my help come from? My help will come from God, maker of heaven and earth. My help will come from God, maker of heaven and earth. Me'ayin Yavo Yavo Ezri. Me'ayin Yavo Yavo Ezri. Me'ayin Yavo Yavo Ezri. Me'ayin Yavo Yavo
Thank you guys for helping us climb up the mountain as we are starting our service here. And someone who has been climbing up a mountain with not just one but two bat mitzvah dates is Molly Cherniak. We were supposed to be doing this back in May, and now here we are heading to October to do this. So we're so excited to invite Molly and the Cherniak family to light our Shabbat candles. So if you guys want to unmute yourselves, you can do that, and we'll do some candle lighting. All right. There we go. Oh, and I forgot to change the slides.
The whole family.
Got everyone.
All right.
Shel Shabbat Amen, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Beautifully done. The Shabbat candles are lit, and so is the spirit of the evening. It is lit together. We're going to just take a moment before we sing Lecha Dodi. We're going to take a moment to do a blessing for each other. During so much of the service, we're going to focus on gratitude, and maybe we're thinking about ourselves and what we're grateful for in our lives. But during this first part of the service here, we want to take a moment and try and bless other people. So if you have folks around you, parents, if you have kids in the house nearby, you can put a hand on them. If you don't have anyone in the house and you're maybe quarantining alone, you could just think of somebody who you want to send blessings to. And I don't think we're going to sing it tonight. I think we'll just read it. Let's do our blessing together here. And it goes like this. Yevarechecha. Why don't you guys repeat after me? Yevarechecha.
Yevarechecha.
Adonai.
Adonai.
V'yishmerecha.
V'yishmerecha.
Ya'er.
Ya'er.
Adonai.
Adonai.
Panav.
Panav.
Elecha.
Elecha.
Vichuneka.
Vikuneka.
Yisa.
Yisa.
Adonai.
Adonai.
Panav.
Panav.
Elecha.
Elecha.
V'yasem.
V'yasem.
Lecha.
Lecha.
Shalom.
Shalom.
And you can say this to someone. May God bless you and keep you.
May God bless you and keep you.
May God's light shine onto you always.
May God's light shine onto you always.
May God lift you up and grant you peace.
May God lift you up and grant you peace.
I hope you've been able to bless somebody else on this Erev Shabbat as we begin here. And we're going to start our service by doing Lecha Dodi as we welcome in Shabbat. We've started welcoming it in. We've got the verses down. We know what we're doing now. We're going to sing together Lecha Dodi. You can find that if you have a Siddur on page 20. Otherwise, you'll see the words on the screen right next to Molly.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalala 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 Pnei Shabbat Ekavela Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalala 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 Pnei Shabbat Ekavela Shamor v'zachor v'ribor echad Yishmiyanu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad V'shem u'tiferet v'li'ila Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalala 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 Pnei Shabbat Ekavela Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalala 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 Pnei Shabbat Ekavela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'lecha Im makor ha'brecha Derosh nekedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tehila
Teret Mala Gam Besimcha Utsorola Toch Emunei Am Segula
Well, thank you guys for getting us all excited and ready for the rest of our service here. We're going to read together on page 27, and then Samuel will join me for Am I Awake? But if you have a book, you can read along. Otherwise, you can read along with me on the screen here. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. We're going to join in singing Am I Awake? Sammy, where'd you go? Uh-oh, mad at Mom, so she left here. Okay. All right, well, am I singing this here? Mark, you want to sing Am I Awake then? Because Sammy's gone? All right, you guys do it on your end.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Come on, la la la, la 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 la. That's it, Sammy. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. La la Mevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yolai Lai Lai 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 Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai
Beautiful. Thanks, Sam.
Wait, there's something about me.
Thank you.
About me.
Thank you, guys.
Wait.
All right. So, yeah, Sammy enjoys Lachadodi. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Barlos, for your help on that. We
Thank you.
We have reached the part in our service where we are going to do one more reading, and then Molly, you're going to be up for leading us in Shema in just one moment. And if you have a book, you can read along here, or otherwise you can read along on the screen. Everlasting love you have offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them helps give meaning to our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. So let me just do a couple of quick Shabbat Shaloms here, and then we're going to get to Molly. I see some people have joined us here. Babette, Shabbat Shalom to you. Steve and Joanne Grossman, Shabbat Shalom. Hilda, Shabbat Shalom. I know I must have missed a bunch earlier, and I'm sorry for that. Shabbat Shalom to everyone who is here, and we're glad to be celebrating together. So Molly, why don't you lead us through Shema? Whenever you are ready. Beautiful. Wow, Molly.
Beautiful.
Nice.
You took that Via Hafta and you owned it. That was very nicely chanted. That is terrific. Don't worry, there's a lot more where that came from. If you out there are wanting more Molly, she'll be doing the Adonai Tzvatai in just a few moments in the rest of the Amidah. We're going to turn now to gratitude, to some simchas. If you have a simcha, something for which you are celebrating on this Shabbat, go ahead and we'll share it with each other in the comments. I may not be able to read them tonight because we just have a lot going on in the service, but share them with each other so we can rejoice in our simchas together and know that, especially at this time of year, when we're looking towards the new year, looking towards 5781, we want to be able to change our perspective so that we can see these simchas in our life that sometimes it's hard to see when we're living in a dark world. So we're going to take some time and go ahead and put them in the comments here. If we have time, we'll get to them, and if not, we'll share them just with our community here to engage in a little bit of gratitude. Let's join in singing Micha Mocha. know I said we wouldn't share these, but we'll just share a couple of them because they are really nice. First of all, hi, Mom. Shabbat Shalom to you also. Jeremy Reika says, making it through the first week of school. Combination of virtual and in-person for many of us. And yes, that is a thing. Great. We made it. Sandy is thankful for sailing and bike riding. That's terrific. Thanks for sharing that, Sandy. Roger Friedman says the birth of their new grandson. Yay. Jack Elijah Devendra, 3 days old at home with his twin siblings. Or he doesn't have he's not a twin, but he's got siblings who are twins. Gabe and Addie. So that is very exciting. And Marilyn Altman is liking the service. So yes, that's lovely. They were lovely.
And Lori's with us.
Hey, Lori, Shabbat Shalom.
They say Shabbat Shalom. We have the earphones.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, all right. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to take a moment and turn to the song Tree of Life that we sometimes will sing at this point in the service, where we can remember that even in our darkest times that we need to look to each other to be trees of life, to give each other the oxygen that we need, and to support each other. And certainly we need that in these times more than any. So I'll turn it over to Hannah and Mark for Tree of Life.
Just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless. In this pain we share. Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes and hold each other by this tree of life. Angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless with love on our side. Oh, sweet souls who feel broken now, we'll heal together somewhere, somehow. Time and again we have been let down, but we sing nonetheless, still whole and still proud. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there.
Those words are so healing. It's
Beautiful song.
Yeah, it's really nice. Beautiful when you guys do it. Well, speaking of beautiful people doing great things, we're going to turn over to Molly to lead us through the Amidah. You can find that right here on the screen or in your prayer book on page 46. And if you are in a position where you can rise, you can do that. Otherwise, you can stay where you are. And we'll join with Molly in singing the first two blessings of the Amidah. Molly, whenever you are ready.
Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu v'Eloheinu, Eloheinu Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Yom, Gamel Hasadim Tovim, Sekonei Hakol, Bilaher Asay Abot, B'Imahot, Sumidi get a lolly snake, and I had Lamont Mobe, Abba, Nas Ozer, Umashia, Umagi, Saru Kata, Adonai, Nagin Abraham, Bezrat.
Beautifully done, Molly. Wow, that's so great. Let's join
10 out of
together.
10.
We're going to join together in singing the blessing together on page 50. And Molly, you can join us if you want, because I know you know this one. Atagi bor leolam Adonai, mechayeha kol atarav lahoshia, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayeha kol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verafeh cholim umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishene afar, michamocha bal givarot umido melach, melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emanat al chachayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedeshim b'chol yom yahalalu chasela, baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Amen. Molly, you have set the bar high for October 3rd. Now we are going to expect that you are going to be this amazing on October 3rd, and that's going to be great. I can see that you don't like that idea. Okay, we're going to keep on moving through our service here. And we'll take just a few moments for some silent prayer and meditation. And you can either use the words that are in your prayer book, or you can use the words that are in your heart for just a few moments. And then we'll join together with Yehiyu L'Ratzon. And Molly, you're getting a lot of comments from people saying, well done, Molly, great job. So make sure you check out those comments of everyone patting you on the back.
Silent prayer?
Yehiyu. Is that what you want? Yehiyu or my silent prayer?
No, yeah, Yehiyu L'Ratzon. Yeah, you're right. You're good.
Yehiyu L'Ratzon mefi ve'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yehiyu L'Ratzon mefi ve'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Ve'hiyu L'Ratzon nimrefi ve'hegyon libi lefanecha. Ve'hiyu L'Ratzon nimrefi ve'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Yehiyu L'Ratzon nimrefi ve'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yehiyu L'Ratzon nimrefi ve'hegyon libi lefanecha.
Thanks, guys. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I want to just share a few words and actually just a story with you this evening. This week's Torah portion is called Nitzavim. And in this Torah portion, we also read it at Yom Kippur in a couple of weeks. And we say, here's a line in Hebrew that we say. We say, Hachayim v'hamavet natati lefanecha habracha v'haklala v'harta b'chayim l'ma'an tihya ata v'zarecha. That I have set before you life or death, blessing or curse. Choose life so that you may be a blessing. I want to share a story with you that I've loved for a long time about how a curse can become a blessing. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was an officer of the law, a newly minted graduate of the academy, filled with pride, as you can imagine, in its crisp uniform with his brass buttons on it. He was a swordsman. One day he was walking and he heard commotion in an alley. He ventured into the darkness, and there in the distance he saw a man in rags. "Come forward," he commanded. "Come forward now." But the man in the rags did not come forward. "I am an officer of the law, and I command you to come forward." The man in the rags still did not move. Instead, he simply shifted his weight from one foot to the other, and he said, "I don't know what I'm going to do with you." "Do with me," the swordsman of the law said. "Do with me? What, you're not going to do anything with me. I am in charge of you." "And said the man in the rags, "now I know what to do with you." And as he spoke, he drew his sword. "Now I know exactly what to do." And without another word, the man moved to attack. The two fought, and the officer of the law prevailed. But the man in rags said something. He said, I'm leaving you right now, but as I do, I'm going to put on you the curse of blessings." "What do you mean?" asked the officer of the law, now totally confused by all that had happened in this narrow alleyway. "The curse of blessings is that every day you must say one new blessing that you have never said before. One day, if there's a day that you don't say a new blessing, on that day you will die." The man in rags closed his eyes. The officer of the law turned away, looking here and there for someone to come and help, but there was none to be found. When he turned back again, the man in rags had disappeared. He was gone. Now, that must have been a dream or a nightmare, the officer thought. I must have imagined the whole thing. The time by then was late afternoon and the sun was setting, and suddenly, as much as the officer tried to ignore the feelings that in his own body, he could not. It was sunset at the very end of the Jewish day. After all, it's a Jewish story. And the officer of the law felt his body growing colder and colder, and he knew for certain that the chill that crept over him was actually his life leaving him. So in a panic, he looked up at the fading light and he said to the sky, "Oh my God! Thank you for creating this sunset." At once, warmth and life flowed back into him, and he realized with both shock and then relief that the curse of blessings had been for real. As you can imagine, the next morning he jumped out of bed and didn't wait for a moment before finding some words of blessing to say. "I bless the power that allowed me to go to sleep last night and wake up this morning," he said proudly. As soon as the blessing was uttered, he felt a profound sense of security and inner peace that lasted the whole day. Of course, the very next morning, he jumped out of bed once again, and this time blessing his ability to stand up. The following day, he blessed his ability to tie his shoes and even to touch his toes. Day after day, he found that he could bless, that he could go to the bathroom, that he could brush his teeth, that he had teeth to brush. Each finger on his hand still worked. He did a blessing for each of those. The toes on his feet, the hair on his head, that he could speak, that he could walk and sing and feel another human being with his touch. When finally he ran out of things to bless, he began to bless relationships. He blessed family and friends and workers, people that he worked for and the ones that he worked for him and ones that he worked with. He blessed the mail carrier and the clerks and the firefighters and school teachers, the maintenance workers and gardeners and plumbers and electricians and the doctors and lawyers and actors and musicians. Even the agents and managers, everyone got blessings from him. And as he blessed people in his life one after the other, he was surprised to find that they actually appreciated the blessings. His words were not mere words. They had power. They meant something. They drew family and friends closer to him as word got out that this unusual officer of the law who spread blessings wherever he went and people went out of their way to try and find him. Years passed, decades, and the officer of the law had to go further afield to find new sources of blessings. He blessed city councils and university presidents and scientists and their discoveries and students and their intellectual struggles. And as he traveled the world, he became in awe of the balance and beauty that blessed that as well. He realized that the more he learned, the more he had to bless. And because his life was long, he had the opportunity to learn in every field. He passed the age of 100. Most of his friends were long gone and turned his attention to searching for the purpose of life itself. He had long ago realized that he wasn't the source of blessings, just the conduit. And even the realization became a blessing to him that sustained him yet another day. Finally, he approached the age of 120. He decided that his life had been long enough. Even Moses had not lived longer than that. So on his birthday, he made a conscious decision to utter no new blessings and finally allow his life to come to a close. Still, he realized that he could recite old blessings throughout the day, and he reviewed them. the blessings for his body and his possessions and relationships that spread throughout the world, for the awesome beauty and balance of creation, for the deep impulse of purpose that he knew pervaded his being, but no new blessings passed his lips. And so, as the sun was setting, a chill progressed inward, and he did not resist. And as twilight was fading, a figure appeared, and it was the man in rags. "You," the officer of the law exclaimed, "I have thought about you every day for 100 years. I never meant to harm you. Will you please forgive me?" "You still don't understand," said the man in the rags. "You don't know who I am, do you? I am the angel who was sent 100 years ago to harvest your soul. But when I looked at you, you were so pompous and self-righteous, so full of yourself there, and there was nothing there. There was no soul to harvest. Just an empty uniform was all I saw. So I put on you this curse of blessings, and now look what you have become." The officer of the law grasped in an instant all that had happened and how blessed he had been by the angel throughout his life. And his gratitude for the blessings of his life simply overflowed, and he couldn't help himself, and he said the Shehechianu prayer, "Thank you, God, for keeping me alive and sustaining me all these years to reach this great moment of insight." "Now look what you've done," the man in rags exclaimed in frustration. "A new blessing." And life flowed once again. The curse of blessings, or maybe it's the blessing of blessings. Tomorrow night we start Slichot, the service that officially opens the High Holy Day season. We know that there are so many curses in our lives right now. They're everywhere. All we have to do is look out the window and see them. But we also know that sometimes those curses make it hard for us to see all the blessings that surround us as well. So as we begin this high holiday season, let us spend a little bit of extra time looking for those blessings. They are literally happening all around us. All we have to do is open our eyes and be like the officer of the law, pay attention to the blessings and bless others, and we will find them. So that's a little story for Torah portion Nitzavim. It is. I love that story, and hopefully you love it as well. It's a good reminder to us that that we can find those blessings anywhere and everywhere that we look. Well, turning back in our service here, one of the blessings that we often do is a blessing for healing, for hope and for healing. And we know that there are a number of folks in our community who are in need of healing right now, and I'm going to read some of their names, and I think I've got the names written down that you shared on here on Facebook, but if I miss any, please let me know. This Shabbat, we are thinking of healing for Bill Ackerman, Catherine Adler, Marcia Ames, Marilyn Altman, Adrian Atkinson, and Deborah Belford. We're thinking of Marjorie Block, Paul Branson, Dave Sedarquist, Carol Cohn. We're thinking of Dorothy Cohn, Rob Cohn, Lily Kovitz, Tony Diegler, Carrie Ebert, Don Feibel, Michael Fiorelli. We're thinking of Olivia Glick, Alan Goldberg, Rachel Goldblatt, Bernice Goldstein, Jimmy Green, Joanne Grossman. We're thinking of healing for Brad Hannon, Jessica Hannon, David Haas, Walter Hirschberg, Luda Kagan, Greg Kellner, Don Kerr, Barb Lucas. We're thinking of healing for David McGee and Dolores McGee, Fred Martin, Minna Melton, Paul Mickelson, and Dick Nettleman. We're thinking of Robert Oakley and David Palmer and Aaron Phelan and Ian Phillips. We're thinking of Richard Prostowski and Jessica Rathkoff and Julianne Reel and Lee Rosenthal, Nancy Rosenboim, June Sahara, Ralph Sauer, Sandy Schaefer. We're thinking of Mitch Schifrin, thinking of Richard Schur, and we're thinking of Sherry Silverman, Joel Sloan, Brian Voronkov, Robert Weiss, Harry Woolman, Betty Young, and Jack Zimmer. We ask if there are, we have a couple other names that folks have shared. Nick Parisi, Jack Kufari, Joan Bray, Mark Guzman. Thinking of everyone in California and Oregon and on the West Coast who is dealing with these horrible fires, and anyone who's in need of healing from that. We're thinking also of Jerry Sapadin. And if there are other names, we're thinking of Mayim Ross and Myra Barnett. And if there are others, Pete Bowman, Tammy Toso, and Tracy Brown for Misha Barach, and spiritual healing for Marla Perlstein. And if there are other names of folks who are in need of healing, we'll sing the song and then we can read the names afterward. I see healing for Sandy Katz here from Jeremy. Thanks for that. If there are any other names, we'll ask you to share them. We're on about a 25-second delay. So if you put them on here, We will try and get to them. Oh, I see one more here. We're Brooke Springer, healing for you, and Richard Letterman, healing for you as well, for Richard as well. And if there are others, please go ahead and share them here. We'll join together in singing Misha Berach prayer after we say Baruch Atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, who helps us to identify all these blessings in our lives, and those blessings give us strength. May that strength make us stronger and heal us. Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBrecha Leimotenu been a source of strength, who will bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
We've got a couple other names here.
Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBrecha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
We ask for healing also for Kayla Fuller, for Leanne Holstein, for Jimmy Schnitzler, and for Ria Salkovich. And if there are others who are in need of healing, we'll invite you to just hold their names up in your own heart and send healing prayers their way. We're going to turn to what has come to be known as the TBS version of Bayom Hahu, but Mark wrote it. And this is Bayom Hahu, the last line of our Aleinu prayer, which you can find on 287 or right here on the screen.
As it is written, Benemar, let it be said, God rules the earth. On that day, God shall be one. Vehaya Adonai, Melech Kol Haaretz. On that day, God's name shall be one. Bayom Hahu, Yehyeh Adonai Echad.
We turn now to the point in our service where we think of those who are on journeys yet unseen, those who have died of the season in years past, and those who we are missing, who have left us in recent days. And I want the service not to go by without us mentioning that today is September 11th. It is the 19th anniversary of those horrible attacks. Any of us who lived through that day, I think, remember exactly where we were on 9/11. And that is certainly still a piece of us, and we are remembering all those who died that day, and all those first responders who have died from various diseases and cancers that they picked up on that site. So we are thinking of all of them, hold them in our hearts. We're thinking also of Herbie Leibovitz, who we are in Shloshim for. And we remember these who died at this season in years past. We're remembering on this Shabbat at Temple Beth Shalom, Mabel Abramovitz, Meyer Abramson, Sam Birnbaum, Jacob Borovitz, Saul Eisenman, Scott Elwood, William Feicht, Fern Flegel, Rebecca Handler, Albert Petzov, Archie Rafal, Ida Rich, Lynn Reiches, Dorothy Shear, Pearl Schultz, Barbara Schifrin, and Ruth Tannenbaum. And I ask, and also we're thinking of Darren Pontel. And if there is another name, anyone else has a name for our Kaddish prayer, you can put it here in the comments on Facebook, and we will read that name as soon as we are done with our prayer. Join together in our Kaddish prayer either on the screen here or on page 294. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayedecho be'Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehesh mei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudasham barichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehesh lama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God send peace to all who are in mourning around us, and comfort to all the bereaved. And together we say to that, amen.
Amen.
Okay, just a couple of brief announcements. Tomorrow night at 7:30, you can tune in either here to Facebook Live, to our YouTube channel on YouTube Live, or to the Temple website. Any of those three places will be simultaneously broadcasting our Slichot services. The music, I think, is what makes the service really beautiful tomorrow. We have music from almost all of our musicians. Mark and Hannah have a couple of songs in there. And you'll see some of the beautiful recordings that we've done for the high holidays will appear in tomorrow night's Slichot service. It's a pretty brief service. I believe it's 40 or 45 minutes, and a chance for us to take a deep breath, come together, and get ready for Rosh Hashanah. And we should note that we're going to change the Torah covers over from their regular Torah attire to their high holiday Torah covers. So we hope that you'll join us tomorrow at 7:30. And that's, by the way, is going to take place of regular Havdalah. Havdalah is going to be part of that. So no Bar-Lev craziness tomorrow night. So that'll be great. I think we'll be fine. All right, everyone. And one other note, because of the impending rain on Sunday morning, if you are a religious school family, and hopefully you saw Rabbi Lynette's note that we're pushing back the drive-in first day of religious school. Instead of being on this Sunday, because there's like a 75% chance it's going to be raining at 10 a.m., instead of doing it this Sunday, we're going to do it on September 27th. That is Erev Yom Kippur in the evening, but in the morning, it's just a regular old day. So we hope you'll join us for that drive-in on the 27th if you are a religious school family. We'd like to get all 250 kids piled into cars and get them in the parking lot, and that would be fun. But we'll see. We'll see how that all happens. One more thing, special thank you to Molly Cherniak. Molly, you are amazing. Not only did we get to hear you. Oh, we're gonna do an Aziofi too. Okay, hey. We also like the beautiful setup you got there with the Shabbat candles.
Yes.
And the whole family is there with you. We know that. We're really, really excited for October 3rd. It's going to be terrific. And you proved tonight that you can handle all of this very easily. So that's exciting. Our closing song tonight is Lechi Lach, to a land that I will show you. And talk about blessing each other. This is a song about creating blessing in our lives and seeing the blessings wherever they go. Lechi Lach.
to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi lach. And I shall make your name great. Lech lecha. And all shall praise your name. Lechi lach. To a place that I will show you. La simchat chayim. La simchat chayim. La simchat chayim. Lechi lach. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach.
And look at that family down there. You guys are such a blessing
That's awesome.
to our community. And I love that you're all giving Molly some love right now.
Shabbat shalom.
A lot more love where that came from on October 3rd. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Mark, Hannah, thank you as always for the
Shabbat
beautiful
shalom,
music.
everybody.
All right, everyone. Shabbat shalom, Noah. Shabbat shalom, everyone. We will see you soon. See you tomorrow night for Slichot at 7:30.
Be there.
Bye-bye. Shalom. All right. Goodbye. All right, see you later. I'm here. Oh, okay, that's fair. I think so too. All right, guys. Thank you as always. Bye-bye. Thank you. See you later. Mark, see you tomorrow. That's Noah. Bye. Oh, I forgot to
Leolam Vaed.